2-4, multiples. The focus in this lesson is so that you can solve a number story involving multiples, that you can list multiples of whole numbers, and that you can explore the relationship between factors and multiples. The assessment check is going to be your math journal, page 41. So let's get ready with our warm-up, mental math and fluency. 0 times 6, 0. Any number times 0 is 0. 5 times 8, 40. 10 times 3, 30. Remember to practice these multiplication facts 10 minutes every night. Our math message. Every week, Jabril earns $5 for doing his chores. How much will he have earned after 1 week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? After 5 weeks? On a piece of paper, write one pattern you notice about your answers. Well, hopefully, if you knew in 1 week, you realize that 1 week equals 5. And if you need to, you can actually make this kind of like a T-chart. And on this side, you can put weeks. And on this side, you can put a dollar amount for how much money. So if 1 equals 5, 2 equals, 1 times 5 is 5, so 2 times 5 is 10. 3 weeks? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. 4 weeks? 4 times 5 is 20. 5 weeks? 5 times 5 is 25. What pattern did I notice about my above answer? Well, I noticed that on this side, I alternated between even numbers and odd numbers. 2 and 4 are even numbers. 3 and 5 are odd numbers. I also noticed that whenever I multiplied the first number, the number 1, by, I could just multiply every week after that times the amount I was paid per week to get my answer. And on this side, I noticed that when this went up by 1, this continued to go up by 5. So every week, $5 for chores. How much did she earn? Again, 1 week was 5. 2 times 5, what's the answer? 10. 3 times $5, $15. 4 weeks times $5, $20. And 5 weeks times $5, $25. Multiples of 2. Multiples of 2 can be done by skip counting 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 9 is 18. And 2 times 10 is 20. And so forth. Notice I am increasing my answer every time by 2. Therefore, it's a multiple starting with the number 2. So what are the factors of 16? Well, what you need to do is, first of all, you write down the number 1. So factors of 16 are 1. So what other factors of 16? Well, how do I get 16? 1 times 16 makes 16. Remember, we always start with the number 1. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 6 is 18. That's too much. 3 times 5 is 15, so that's not enough. So 3 is not an option. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times nothing ends in a 6. 6 times nothing is 16. 7 times nothing is 16. 8 times 2 is 16. So I'm back where I started. So my factors for 16 are 1, the number 1, the number 2, the number 4, and the number 16. Even though I have 4 written down twice, I only needed to write it here once to state that it is a factor. So as we look, factors of 16 are 1. These are the first factors up to number 16 for the number 2. 4 goes up to 16. 8 becomes 16 through multiplication. And 16 becomes 16 through multiplication. So again, my numbers are 1, 2, 4, and look up here. I missed this even though I had it written right there. So we always have to make sure we're double checking our work. So I need to sneak 8 in here before the number 16. So list the first 10 multiples of the first, 5 multiples of the number 10. So your first multiple is always the number they ask. So your first multiple of 10, 1 times 10 is 10. That's my first multiple. List the first 10 multiples of 6. My first answer, 1 times 6, is 6. Name 5 multiples of 7. Well, it's always easiest just to start with the number 7. 1 times 7 is 7. And name 5 multiples of the number 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Go ahead and finish this page, the entire page, and when you're finished, stop back at the table and show it to me. This is the assessment check that I want to make sure that you understand and know how to do. Pause the tape now and finish that, please. This is in your math journal and it's page 41. So this is what the page looks like if you continued on. Please make sure to complete all numbers. And if you need help again, stop back at the table and I will gladly help you. Here are the answers quickly. Remember, if you don't know how to do it, this will not benefit you to double check an answer if the book is used at the time you want to look at it. Ask questions. This is just talking about your student reference book, page 252, for learning how to play Buzz and Biz Buzz, which we will be playing on Monday, so you may skip through this. And that's the Biz Buzz directions. Place these numbers in order from least to greatest. So make sure you're looking first of all at the hundreds place, the thousands place, the 10,000s place, the 100,000s place, and the 10,000s place again. Place them in order. Please turn to your math journal and do page 42. This is the recording previously to this. You should have noticed that the least greatest is the number 964. And you should have written that first. And then cross it off as you use it. And the greatest would be 400,960. You should have written that in as your greatest. And the rest that you should have filled in, I want you to check in the math journal answer key before you continue on with the rest of the page. Pause the tape now, do that page, and then continue on when you're finished. These are the answers in case the answer key is being used. Remember, you can pause the recording at any time to look at the answer key. Don't just write answers in if you don't understand it, though, because it's not going to help you on the assessment at the end. Convert the following measures. 18 yards equals how many feet? First, you got to figure out and make a T-chart similar to the one we made before. Put yards on one side, feet on the other. Try to start with the number 1. What's happening? I don't know what's going on here. Hang on. That turned out not so great. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get this erased quickly. And for some reason, it is not erasing for me. So let's make a different... There we go. Wonderful. So for this, remember, make a T-chart. Put yards on one side. Wow. I need to change my size. Put feet on the other. And no matter what they ask of you, always start with the number 1. So 1 yard equals 3 feet. Once you discover what you have to multiply 1 by, it's going to be easier for you now to do 18 yards. Well, if I multiplied 1 times 3, I'm going to multiply 18 by 3. And if I don't know what that is, I can always add 18 3 times, and I will get the same answer. So 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 8 is 24. I carry the 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 18 yards equal 54 feet. Try to do the next few on your own and see if you can come up with the right feet. You're going to be doing this in your math journal, page 43. If you're struggling at all with this, stop back at the table and I'll help you with it. You're going to need to finish the rest of the page. If the book is being used, you can always look ahead, but do not look ahead just for the answers, because you are required to know how to do this on the assessment at the end of Unit 2. Pause the tape now and do that page. Here are the answers in case the book is in use and you need to get it corrected. The first 5 multiples of 4, well, if you're looking for multiples of 4, your first one should be 4. And your next one is 4 times 2. It should be 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 5, 20. Those are the first 5 multiples of the number 4. Please look at Home Link Math Masters, page 61. It's a loose leaf sheet. You'll probably have to come back and get it from me. You notice we did problem number 1 previously. You need to finish this page and you need to bring it back to me. Anything that you got wrong, please mark it and I will help you show you what you did wrong. Come back to the table and always turn this in when you are done. Thank you.